This video is going to show you how to manage relationships in Excel Publish. I have two tables here that have a one-to-many relationship. I have a department table on the one side, which is a list of departments by their department number and their name. On the many side, I have a list of employee names and employee information, and in that table, I have a department field, which is only the department number. What I want to do ultimately is be able to relate these two tables so I can do analysis by the name of the department, not just by the department number. Now, in order to do this, I have created two tags. I've tagged the employment data and I've tagged the department data. And then I published them to the target file. Now let's go look at the target file. When I open it, shows that I have two tables. I have departments and I have emp data. There's my one, there's my many. I don't know if you noticed, but these were also published directly to the XLP testing workspace on Power BI. So if I go to Power BI, the most recent refreshed object. So I click on last refreshed, and there it is. A minute ago, there is. And now in Power BI Desktop, I just went and connected to those two tables in the Power BI service. So now if I come up here, I can go, oh, okay, here's my departments table and here's my employee table. So let's go and say, I want to see my total salaries. Okay, so if I drag total salaries over here, I want to take the department name and I want to add that to the exact same thing. So I want by department, by total salaries. And you'll notice that when it does that, all the numbers are the same, because it produces a Cartesian relationship, which means it's an example of both sides of the relationship. It'll just add everything up because there is no relationship between the two. Now, I'm in Power BI Desktop, and I cannot edit the queries. I cannot create a relationship when I'm inside Power BI or Power BI Desktop when I'm connected to a Power BI service table. However, that's no problem, because with Excel Publish, if I go back to the target file, I can go up here into Power Pivot. I'm in the target file and use all the skills that I have at my beck and call in Excel. I can go up here into Power Pivot. I can create diagram view, and I can make relationships between the department table and the employee data, because you notice how here is the one side and here is the many side. So I create a relationship which doesn't look any different, except that you can see the relationship here in the target file. Now I go back to Excel. Now keep in mind something now. If I save this, although every time I publish it, it will save it anyway, but just to be sure, I saved it. That relationship is now baked into the target file, so that in the future, every time I publish through this target file, that relationship will go along for the ride. So if I go to Excel Publish and I publish this again, and you notice I'm publishing it from within the target file. So it doesn't take very long, because all it has to do is push the target file to Power BI. It doesn't have to do any running around as if when you do it from the source file. So now that it's done, I can go to Power BI Desktop, and here is my salaries. If I refresh this model, you will see that immediately all my numbers will now be correct by asset management, by bank, by HR, blah, 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 and then the total. Because that relationship that I just created in the target file has been passed along and is now baked into the record set and the data sets that are in this workspace in Power BI service. Therefore, everything I need to do when it comes to relationships, I can do it in Excel. And because I'm in my target file, next time I publish, that same relationship will still be there. So if that table changes markedly, it doesn't matter. The relationship between the departments and the employee data is still intact. This is a comprehensive introduction to the target file. The target file has got a lot of moving parts, and so this is fairly long because it has to talk about all the parts and how they're all interrelated.